Hey beauties, and welcome back to IAmBeautifulHustler TV. Today we'll be doing a curly lace wig install with two braids like undertucked or whatever. And today's hair is provided by Reshine hair. Now you guys always ask me to do tutorials, like lace installs on people with smaller foreheads. So I will be using my youngest little sister today to show you guys how to install on smaller foreheads, give you guys a few tips and tricks that you can do, and of course slay the install overall. And like I mentioned, today's hair is from Reshine hair. They did send over this beautiful 26-inch deep curly wig, and I absolutely love the wig. It did come pre-plucked, and I love the curl pattern, but of course I did have to go in and bleach the knots and pluck this wig out some more. And for those who have been tuned into my channel for a while, you guys already know I'm practicing on this whole makeup thing. It's new for me. So I did do her makeup as well. And I'm just trying to keep doing it more often and more often so I could get better and better. That's the goal. So, however, I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing, and stay tuned. So for starters, I went ahead and cleaned the hairline, applied the cap, and added the foundation in the color Java from the Kiss brand cream foundation palette. And right now, I'm just placing the wig onto my sister's head because she do have a very, very small forehead. She was the perfect client, model to do for this talk through video. Now, as you can see, that lace looks really far down in the center of her head, but that's why when you have someone with a lower or smaller forehead, you really want to pluck it out really, really good. And that area that I was pointing to, most of that lace in the center will be cut off, and that's why it's very, very important to pluck more in those areas that you're gonna have to cut more lace from, because I've mentioned before in a few of my tutorials, it's very frustrating when you pluck a wig and then everything that you plucked, once it's time to cut the extra lace off a client, everything you pluck gets cut off, and now you have to pluck again, with the wig already on a person's head, which could be, frustrating and sometimes painful to the client. So that's why I always recommend for those clients who do have that low size or that really small forehead, you want to make sure that you pluck enough so when you do cut off the extra the extra lace, you still have a natural looking hairline. So what I did is I went ahead and applied 4 layers of my Beautiful Hustler lace matte adhesive. And to be honest, I use every single one of my products, in every installation that I do. So everything that I use as far as products belongs to me, except for the holding spray that I use. But as far as the melt belt, wax stick, and all of that, everything, are my products. But however, what I'm doing right now is I went ahead and placed that wig into that glue after adding the 4 layers, and I'm just taking my blow dryer on the heat setting and just drying that lace in. And another thing I like to do, and right now I'm going in with my Beautiful Hustler Glam Wax Stick, and I just apply it on that hairline, and then I'll go in with a hot comb as well, because that heat from that hot comb helps with that melting process of that, like that lace into that glue. So I just take the comb, and as you can see, I plucked very, very nicely for her hairline, but I apply that heat to help it melt even better. But once I am done hot combing, I will go with the, going with my Beautiful Hustler melt belt and secure and tie down that lace to help with the melting process as well. And then once I come back, I will show you guys how I cut off that extra lace and still have that natural effect, even with the low, even with her having that smaller forehead. So after 5 minutes, I went ahead and, removed that melt belt, and I just zoomed the camera in closer so you guys can get a closer look of what the hairline is looking like. I am doing an updated video on my plucking because my plucking has just been tea, and I am just all for it. But as I mentioned, she do have that smaller forehead, so you do have to cut, the lace to match her hairline the best. So people ask why I pull down that thin layer, and that's because none of that hair that I pulled down is not needed, basically for the install. So I just go ahead and, I slit the wig down the middle as far as cutting it, and then I just go in with a fresh eyebrow razor, and I just razor off all of that extra lace. And you just really want to follow like the pattern of the person's natural hairline. Even when you are adding the adhesive to their skin and cap, just make sure you are following the exact hairline. Like, don't try to do it a straight across hairline if that's not how their hairline is. You just really want to go with the flow of their natural hairline, and that's going to help you with your glue placement. And also, when it's time for you to cut off the extra lace, you don't have to worry about anything being glued too far down and trying to clean up extra glue and everything like that. So you just have to follow these very, very specific steps and details in order to get the best results when you are working with someone with a low hairline and a smaller forehead. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the styling for today's look. As I mentioned in the beginning, we will be doing, the middle part with the 2 braids. So I'm going to go ahead and hot comb everything out, pull out the section for the baby hairs, and then get the whole styling process started. So now that I've hot combed everything out and also sectioned off the baby hair, I'm just going to go ahead and go in with my Tresemme holding spray and spray that across the hairline and secure the hairline once again with the melt belt, just to make sure everything is super melted and super laid. And once that dries completely, I will go ahead and remove that belt And usually I would do the style and do the baby hairs last, but what I'm going to do now and from now on most likely is style the baby hair first and then do the finishing touches on the style, just so the baby hairs can blend in, with everything. And I'm going to let that not the melt belt dry, but I'm going to let that holding spray dry completely before removing that belt. But I am going to style the baby hair first, as I mentioned, and then do the braids. And just a heads up, like, this is not a full like lace frontal wig, so I did have to use some of their hair where the track shows and kind of finesse it where it doesn't show. But before we talk about that, let's get into this melt, honey. Y'all see me drop those videos in, just give y'all a real nice close-up, and these are the results you can get when using my melt belt and a combination of my adhesive, and of course with some technique. You can get your clients, friends, cousins, everybody slayed, okay? But let's get into this baby hairs. Now, usually I never use mousse for baby hair. I don't know what made me pick up my mousse bottle today, but I was just like, you know what, let me just go ahead and just show something a little bit different. But I will be using mousse and holding spray today to do my baby hair, but I actually, kind of swooped my baby hairs into place with the Nairobi's mousse on its own. And then once I got the baby hair in place, I went in with the blow dryer and just added a little Tresemme holding spray on top to give it a nice firmness, because with the mousse baby hair, it can, lift and move. And if you don't know how to really fix your baby hair, it will be frustrating to use. So for her install today also, I did not go baby hair crazy. I just did like 2 baby hairs on each side. One, I kind of swooped the forehead and a little to the side, and then I just did like the the ear sideburn baby hair, not too baby hair crazy like I was going to do at first. But I'm going to use that mousse like I mentioned, swoop it into place, and then I went in with that Tresemme and just spread a little bit on top and re-blow dry to just give it that nice firmness so it does not move. But once I am done with that, I will go ahead and begin to braid the sections up. So now I'm just pulling off, separating the hair. I just did like a small section, and I'm just going to go ahead and begin braiding. I did not add anything after braiding, because pretty much with that wax stick, and the hot comb, straightening out the roots is pretty nice and straight, so it's easier for me to braid. So I just started braiding, just pulling pieces in piece by piece. And I didn't want the braids to go straight back. I did want them to curve a little bit, so I kind of started from the center and then started turning the braids so it can kind of curve and come downward towards the sides. So once I'm finished braiding finished braiding this side, I will show you what it looked like once I secured with the rubber band on the end. Now, it was 2 ways to wear this style. You can tuck the braids like how I did it in this install, or you could leave the braids just hanging down with the rest of the hair. Either way it goes, I thought both ways was cute, but we did end up doing the tucked braid look. So just stay tuned. And here is pretty much an idea of how the style would have looked if I would have kept you know, the braid just long and hanging. Like, I would have just, you know, of course, brushed the hair out some more so it could give it that nice fluffiness. And I probably would have added some hair charms to it. But oh, it was so pretty, y'all. Like, do y'all see this? This is what it, oh my God, it's too cute. This is what it looked like before tucking the braids. But because I said we are doing a tuck look, I'm just going to take both braids and I'm going to secure them with a rubber band underneath. Y'all know I already put the 2 small rubber bands on the ends, but you know, once I rubber band it together, it's going to be higher. So once I get that secured in the ponytail, I am going to cut the small rubber bands off the ends of those and then unbraid that hair up to that rubber band. So when she is brushing her hair, you know, or combing it out, she's not combing those braids. It would just be like free hair underneath. So with this, all you have to do is pull a braid, you know, above their ears so it does not irritate them. But I thought it was really cute. Either way, I actually really love this install, and I really love this wig, and the curl pattern was just so pretty. Her makeup came out nice and everything, and it's like so crazy because when I look at these videos, y'all, like all of us look like our mom in a different way. Like, and it's so crazy because we look like our mom at different ages in her life. So it's just so weird to me, but however, now it's time to get that part concealed up. So I did want to go back in with that foundation, and I aligned it in the middle of her part and just took some High Beams spray in the color black, and then, you know, of course, sprayed around that part, and I laid that tail in that part so the part is super clean. But here is the finishing results. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys got some great tips on installing on small foreheads and low hairlines, because she had both. That's the crazy part. But thank you guys for tuning in. I love you all for supporting my channel. Products do release on Monday, 8 o'clock. So if you didn't have a chance to order, you will be able to order 8 o'clock Monday sharp. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know what you think down below, and stay tuned.